Welcome back to Good Day Sacramento. I'm Molly Real live in West Sacramento on this first alert action day, and action is exactly what the Sacramento Yacht Club saw Saturday evening during that big windstorm. Look at that. Hard to describe exactly what we're seeing. Luckily, we have Vice Commodore of the Sacramento Yacht Club, Tim Hodge, here to tell us exactly what happened. And Tim, you were here when that happened, weren't you?
Yes, it was actually, we were here. It was about midnight, and we heard a crash. And we were already having bad weather to begin with, and then we heard this crazy roar, and when we came up, we found this.
And tell us what we're seeing. Of course, we want to keep our distance. That is unsafe to be in right now. But you were showing us kind of those rectangles and the orange buoys that we're seeing. What are those?
Right, those are actually called a finger. Those are between each one of the boats that the boats attach themselves to. As the roof structure lifted off, it actually pulled those fingers up and pulled them across the dock the opposite way.
Oh my gosh.
It's an amazing thing to see. If you know how the structure of a dock is made, you understand that that is pretty much the backbone of it, and we're seeing it upside down.
Right, so what he's talking about is right here, this is a finger. So over there, this got lifted up, twisted, and somehow didn't take the boat with it.
Correct, and actually the miraculous thing about it is a lot of the boats appear to have not sustained much damage. We're not going up there right now because with drones, and they've flown in and shown things around, so at this point we're knocking on wood that the boats didn't sustain too much damage.
Right, and if they did, as you said, insurance covers that. Those are things, but miraculously, as you said, it's not the extent of damage to the boats that you believe, that you know of, that you might imagine with that. Now, I do want to point out a few things that you were showing me, kind of how this, I hate to say perfect storm, but perfect storm was created. Look at the water level here. Tell us about how high we are compared to normal.
Just from the rainwater alone, we're approximately 10 to 12 feet above where we usually are. We have not hit the highest flood stage the club has seen and has endured, but we're pretty high right now. We're probably 12, anywhere from 12, maybe even 15 feet above where it usually is.
Okay, and Tim was telling me, so what this dock does is it lowers, it floats. It's a floating dock. So this right here, this piling, thank you for all the terms, usually it's about 10 feet above that hole in the ceiling there, and so that is how high we are floating compared to normal. Over there where you see the levee, those trees, normally those are on dry land. So the elements here were pretty exceptional, and again, I hate to use the word perfect storm, but it did create a perfect storm when that wind really kicked up.
Correct. We have actually several things working against us here. We have the rain, the rain that we need, but just not all at once like it's coming down. But right now the river system is handling it fine, but we're dealing with that. And then the wind factor is something altogether different. The wind is what did this. The water is what
time. Thank you for the time, and we will hope for the best for all of those boats down there. Yes.
Question for you. How are they going to clean that up? Do they have to do it from the water side? Do they bring in like cranes and stuff on water? Or will they go piece by piece down the dock?
That's a great question. Great question, Cody. And I know Tim has a background in construction. Cody was wondering, how will you go about repairing this? Do you do it from the water, or do you have to bring certain machines in?
Right, we will have to bring in some equipment. The very first thing that has to be done is it all has to be stabilized. Right now we don't know what the extent of the damage is. We cannot move the boats, we cannot move the docks. We need to get it stabilized first. We'll bring in a contractor to stabilize it first, then we'll go in and start removing material to let the boats out. It'll all be done very strategically, but right now we just, and again, we're fighting against that current that ordinarily we wouldn't have to fight with. But we're in contact right now with construction companies to try and come and stabilize the situation. Then we'll begin the removal of boat process, and then eventually clearing of this and the construction of the new stuff.
Okay, well, like we're seeing around the region, there is a lot of work and repair to be done. We wish you the best, Tim. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.